Hi there guys, Ollie from Vanhaven, and today what I want to do is take you round the Shillingstone conversion. But what I want to do is actually show you how it all works and the realness of it. So at this point in time, this conversion should look pretty much like any other conversion. We have a 3-seater bed. That's on rails, so that's a really cool feature, but quite common now. And then we've got a standard sort of cabinet layout coming down the side. So she does look pretty standard-esque. This is all steamed bent ply, but we've then had that laminated. This particular customer has gone for sort of like an eggshell white. So first thing we're going to do is we open the door of our camper van. We're going to turn the light out. So just here we have a little push button light. Now that's going to activate the courtesy lights for about 5 minutes, which is then going to give me enough time to get myself to our Garmin system here. Now, we've worked really hard to produce this for ourselves, so it's our own kind of logoed interface, which is quite cool. So we've got our home, basically tells us our leisure power and how much we've got 41%. We've got 99% of our fresh water. We've got our lights all off, all on. So we'll turn those ones on. Boom, there we go. Now you'll notice they're all quite dim at the moment. Let's turn that off for a second. Go to the little light switch. Aha! So we can now turn all of these on, depending on how bright we want to go. So for the sake of this, let's go all on. Let's go full send on everything. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and you want to go for a wee in the night, then obviously you don't want that on really bright. So you can just do all of that. This is all on an app as well, which is very cool. So you can appetize it from your phone. MV Aero diesel heater, really simple, very basic. I love an MV Aero diesel heater, and that's also got the app on it, so you can run it from there. We've got 2 plug sockets, some 12 volt, and then this standard system doesn't come with the Focal K2 system. It comes with this little guy, which is just a little Bluetooth speaker, so that you can take it in the van, out the van, down by the beach, on the ride, wherever you want to be. And it just literally lives in a little dock there. And that gives ample power and kind of musical yumminess in here. On this side of the van, we've got a 3-pin plug socket and then another USB-C and a USB-A there. This bed, like I say, is on rails. To activate that, we just lift this up and it's really, really easy to slide. The rails on this particular conversion do go all the way, like, to the threshold cover. This is the diesel heater outlet here. It's just got this lovely little laser cut bit. The cupboards at the top have got like a little area which is routed out at the bottom, but we can hit that, open it up, and they're all on quite tight hinges, which is really nice. There's nothing more annoying than having a bloody thing flapping down at you all the time. And these are all got little lights in, which is quite nice. The one that we're producing now has got like a little projector in here, which is going to be really cool. So when the bedboard is up, we can pull a screen down. That's just going to be quite nice. We've developed our own catches in this conversion. So we've designed these latches, we being Andy, and you can literally just stick your finger in, push it down, and pull those out. A little catch here, which is really nice. You can see the sort of quality of the cabinetry and everything's really, really lovely. And they kind of just suck themselves in, which is nice. Made our own tambour doors. We've got our hot water boiler in here, which is 6 litres electric. And then up here is access to all the plumbing and bits and bobs. We did, however, make sure that there is the perfect place to stand your beer bottles, your standard size beer bottles in here, and pint glasses and stuff, because that's super, super important. You'll notice that all the boarding on the side. This is all really hygienic. We laminated this by the same company who did all of the birch, and gives it a really nice clean finish and hides as much of the carpet as we possibly could get away with. We even had these little things developed, and they come in a multiple colours. Blinds are pretty self-explanatory. They go up, they also go down. In here, this is big enough for a normal size camping plate to sit flat ways, not up ways. Really important. One of my bugbearers of camper vans is nowhere for plates. So that drawer, very important. And then this guy here, it's just your normal cutlery. And then this is a pushy. And in there, you've got your little doodah. Now, this is also done electronically if you want. This is just going to keep things really simple on this particular van, so we'll just keep it as a manual. Blanking panel, because we've got our sink under here, and then the fridge here. Activate the fridge with that little switch there. Again, really, really easy. So we've undone that little locker down on the floor. This cabinet has got a tiny little wheel underneath it so it can roll out. So I'm just going to move the front seat forward just a little bit. That's actually loads, but it didn't need to go that far. And that's just so we can gain this little access here. And then it literally just kisses straight through there. And then that swings out, and that's a really nice, strong, no movement in that at all. When you put that down, it kind of like automatically finds itself. It's got these little plastic clips in the floor, and it just automatically locates itself. The one that on the video had a wooden one. This has got a little stereo piece. And then we've got water. I'm not going to turn it on because all the water will go into my turntable. And that's active on hot and cold whenever you want. And then this, really standard, just a typical Ocean Systems induction hob, hot, cold, timer, all that kind of good stuff. There's lighting underneath here, which is really nice. So in the evening when we've got the awning out, and we're out here cooking our bits, doing our washing up and stuff, all of this is lit. This particular van doesn't have the torch and all the plug sockets on the outside of it. Again, that's all kind of upgrades on what you can do for the Shillingstone. So there are lots and lots of different power management systems available. Lots being 2. The large power system, it's all run on Victron, it's all lithium. This particular van has got a 100 amp hour, 1600 inverter. With the hot water, the fridge, the induction hob, the diesel heater, and kind of everything on, we can actually run everything on at the same time, which is really cool. The one thing I haven't shown you is the table system and the rotator. They do come in singles mainly, but this particular gentleman wanted a double, which I really, really like. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our double seat out. We've got 5 of these guys to undo. They're spring mounted. Just for the sake of this video, we've undone them already. So we're just going to pull this guy back. I'm sure many of you are quite familiar with this seat base. Double seat opens like this, yeah? This bed does exactly the same. So we're going to lift that up, and then underneath you're going to see our table. We're just going to lift this up. One table, and then this is all carpeted, this box. I'm sorry, it's a bit dusty. And this is a great place just to put all your stuff. Going to quickly pull the leg out. stick that back round, get out our little leggy bit, do that. We're gonna just move this forward just a little bit. Lovely. I'll sit here. So you just screw that on like that. There we go. This is so nice because we've now got a proper decent workspace which we can move in and out of. But picture yourself somewhere absolutely gorgeous. We've now got cooking, beer, music, and everything that you kind of want out here under this awning with the lights, which I turned off earlier, but there's lights under there. And then you've got that lovely welcoming dining area. It's just really, really lovely. And where it's on this swing out system, you can actually put it in all kinds of places, bend it however you like. But it's a real game changer for just making your life super, super easy. So this is the back of the van. We can move that bed all the way forward and we can have room for XL bike frames with 29-inch wheels. We can fit surfboards, just everything. It's great. Send this all the way to the front. It's really, really, really good. So we've got in here 8 little tiny spotlights. These come in black, silver, copper or brass. Little switch just here, independent. So when we are loading up in the night or doing whatever we want to do out here, we can do that. We've got another 12-volt socket here, which is a 20-amp jobby, so that we can inflate an inflatable thing. And then we've got our 2 cupboards in the back. Slightly different catches. So the ones on the drawers, you can stick your finger all the way through. These ones you can't. There's like a little edging thing, so you just pull these down. And then, like all of our units, they're lit. In here, we have the shower and we have the filler upper. They're pretty self-explanatory and not very interesting. Although what I will say is that if you hang the shower off the clip here, like so you just stick it in there, this creates a really nice place for a shower. In this little bit here, again, another little box. And then if you have a look in there, George, you'll see that's your shower, hot and cold water. And then we've got another services thing here. We open that up. In there, we've got our 100 amp hour Victron. You just undo this little thing, and this whole thing can slide out, so we don't have to go getting all frustrated replacing batteries in the future if they ever need to be replaced. Behind the flap is our shower and our water, which is really useful because we don't want to have any of that kind of stuff going on in here. Detachable tow bar on this particular van. Rear audio, the little chap for the wind out. And then in here, you'll see another tambour door. Lift this guy up, the little light comes on, and we've got 2 more hidey holes. First hidey hole in here, electrics box 1. And then in here, we pull this down. And then in here, we've got our 1600 multi-plus, and all the wiring and gubbins. And you'll notice that all the wiring is all like this, because the whole van is loomed, which means that if you want to get behind a panel in the future, it's a labelled loom and just makes future tinkering much more enjoyable. Underneath the bonnet, we've put our hook up here. It just makes sense not to have holes, not to have anything under the van. You can plug it in here. You can run your wire neatly through this space here, come out the bottom of the wing, doesn't affect anything, no pinch points, nothing. It's really neat and tidy, and you're not gonna have anything dangling off your van. So that's kind of my little walk around video in the sunshine here on the turntable at Vanhaven, and just wanting to kind of go over the Shillingstone camper van in a bit more detail, kind of a bit more real life. This van leaves me tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. It's been a pleasure to build, and it really shows that if you don't want to have, you know, solid oak end caps, we can do things much more simply and much more cost effectively. And the next Shillingstone should be available for viewing. It's in the workshop at the moment. I expect that's going to be finished in 6 to 8 weeks time. So if you're in and around Dorset and you want to come down and have a little look, touch, feel, smell, we're so open for folks to come over and hang out with us, have a game of pool, drink some beers in the summer sunshine, talk vans. That's what we love doing the most. So please get in contact. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. Here we go.